What's going on, y'all? The Conscious One coming at you. Hope everybody's having a sweet dreams, or maybe not, because it's 1 o'clock in the morning. So this is going to be uh, an important message, a message that I have to reiterate because you know we we're so prone to look at things as entertainment, uh, as either to what I'm saying or what the news is telling you, even if it's bad news. Pretty much people are always constantly 24/7 looking to be entertained. We live in a clown world right now. Everybody wants to be entertained. And if you have something serious to say, nobody really want to listen too much. But I'm just going to tell y'all the truth about what I think about what's going on with black folks. And I'm going to leave y'all two links. One is about, I guess, a cop knocked out some 19-year-old black woman who came at him swinging, hitting or whatever. Crimson Tide lady. I could tell she's Muslim. And she's like, I think, what is the title of the video? It says that even the cops are tired of black women. Yeah, I can imagine. And then I'm going to leave y'all something on Bobby Hemmett where he's basically telling you straight up that these black people are not what you think they are. They're actually clones. And he goes into Star Wars, War of the Clones. What was the Star Wars called? Attack of the Clones. Star Wars been telling us the whole time what's going on, especially with black people, but we don't believe it because this devil is like 100 to 200 years ahead of us in technology, and we still back somewhere in the 1970s, thinking that money really matters and all this nonsense, and thinking that everybody is everybody, and stuff like that. I could tell y'all personally, like I told y'all, the whole thing about black people or black woman or black man, everybody thinks about this little small group in America. That's why I hate that word, because it's very condescending. It throws things off. When you talk about black women this or black women that, or even cops are tired of black women, I'll say this once again. Please stop saying black women. Just get that out of your subconscious mind. Because when you're talking about black women, I will say it again, there are black women all over this world. Okay? Why do they want to put in our subconscious mind the black woman as in one little small group in America, which most of them have already been exterminated? I've seen black women in Cambodia that was almost the same skin color as me. And they'll never show that on TV. They'll never show on TV that you got black people in Southeast Asia. And I already told y'all most of the black people are in Brazil. Brazil has the highest black population in the whole world. But yet every time somebody says black, you're thinking about this little small group of people in the United States that pretty much don't even exist anymore. Already, so-called real black people in America are pretty much almost extinct. When you guys listening to me, you listening to a real black person. And like Bobby Hemmett say in this video I'm dropping on y'all, he say, black people cannot be this stupid. Just think about it. You have black people thriving at a time where Jim Crow was at his height. You have black people who had their own businesses. You have black people thriving at a time when they wasn't supposed to be. Now we have all this access to information, and you mean tell me black people just as stupid as they ever been? Doesn't make sense. The grandparents were more smarter than the ones coming up after them, even though we have all this access to information. It doesn't make sense, does it? That's why I have to agree with Bobby Hemmett's assessment that these ain't black people we dealing with. These are clones. You see what I'm saying? These so-called black women in the hells of North America, I have to believe that most of them are clones too, because you can't understand how that they've adapted this thug life culture. It seems more like a program to control the clones more so than to control real black people, because real black people know better and don't act like no damn fool. Real black people are very intellectual type of people. Uh, they're set apart. They're usually to themselves. They love knowledge. They love wisdom. They don't get caught up in a bunch of fuckery that's going on. This is the character of so-called real black people. So Bobby Hemmett explains in the video, You gotta understand that these people been replaced somehow. How did they do it? I mean, we could talk about epidural needle. We could talk about things done to women in the hospitals that hasn't been brought out to light. We could talk about a lot of things. Right now, y'all, it's very, Spirit been telling me that they didn't damn near kill 500 million people in the past 2 years. Because if you know at least 2 or 3 people that passed away from so-called whatever, and I know 2 or 3 people, and every other person know 2 or 3 people, we're talking about that we just went through a mass extinction of almost probably 500 million people, minimum, in the past 2 years. So if you're not feeling too good these days, it's probably your subconscious mind is disturbed from what has just happened on this planet. However, I wouldn't get too caught up into it because we don't know all the facts. We know that the Most High allows certain things to happen because they have to happen as well. But I just want to put that into you guys' mind. If your subconscious mind, if you're not feeling too well these days, even when good things do happen to you on any given day, it's probably because we just went through a mass extinction of 500 million people just gone in 2 years. It's hard to fathom, isn't it? And the only way that they could cover that up is to make it seem like people are in the hospital falling out of windows. But actually, if 500 million people got exterminated, let me tell you something. It would be like a blink of an eye. You really wouldn't even notice it. Because throughout your day, as many people as you know or you meet and greet throughout the day, which is like maybe 15 to 25 people, if 2 or 3 of them show up missing, that really wouldn't affect your life so much. But imagine if everybody knew 2 or 3 people missing, then you're talking about a mass extinction. Just think about that. Just think about that. So they're actually not telling you. They're actually all the mass deaths. Yeah, it could be true, but they had to like insinuate it. Actually, if they never insinuated that a bunch of people died, you really wouldn't notice it too much. Because all we really do is go to work and pay bills and come on. We don't know that many people in our daily lives. We all really amongst ourselves, and we all worried about just our own little lives. You see, so they actually undermined. When they came out with all the death report, they actually undermined how many people. They would never tell you 500 million people just died, but maybe they'll tell you 100,000 people died, 200,000 people died, but they'll never tell you 500 million people just died. That's excessive, isn't it? That would drive people to panic. So before your consciousness can get a hold of how many people actually just died the past 2 years, they're gonna come out and give you their own numbers. So they do that to pacify you. You see, to pacify you, just in case somebody did start thinking about this stuff and get create a bunch of panic. Because your psyche can handle that 100,000 people died, 200, 300,000 people died in the world. But your psyche can't really handle if they just came out and told you, look, we just killed 500 million people on the planet. Then you would start to, I think people would kind of lose control if they really knew the facts about that. So getting back to what I want to tell you guys, it's a question that bothers me too. I look at these so-called black women out here in the average hood in these cities, and I don't understand them either. I don't understand all the women acting like men, tattoos, swearing, all that stuff, not knowing how to behave. I don't understand all that stuff either. That's why I told you I question most guys' sexuality that are with these women, because I don't understand how you can be with a masculine female. I don't care what color she is. It's not just the so-called black woman that has this masculine persona. There are other races of women who follow right up behind the so-called black women who got these masculine behaviors and stuff like this, swearing, and they just do what they do, and they just think there'll be no repercussions. Let me tell you something. There are always repercussions for your behavior. It might not happen to you today. It might not happen to you tomorrow, but there will be repercussions for bad behavior in people's lives, despite what people may think. So it's not like that people are just out here getting away with stuff. I think some of us probably they need to go and take children or they need to have field trips where you get to go to female jails and women prison, and you actually realize how many females are actually locked up in prison. A whole bunch of them. And I'm pretty sure they all got tattoos on their body and swearing and cursing in there and doing all that kind of nasty stuff too. I'm just glad that I'm not, dipping my hand in a cookie jar and I realize what's going on out here. Normally, when I see a woman with tattoos, I don't really deal with them. If they swearing, I don't really deal with them because you know what? That means that if they come around me, they gonna be doing that type of stuff. And see, I don't play that stuff, man. I'm not one of those people. Oh, don't hit a woman or don't hit people with glasses. No, that to me, that's the first person gonna get hit upside the head because that's gonna be the one that's gonna try to perpetrate a fight because they get away with stuff. Women are not immune uh, from my wrath. Women are not immune from God's wrath. People who wear glasses are not immune from God's wrath. Today, I ordered some food from the Gig Red, and two of these females pulled up, and they had tattoos on. Let me tell you something. I walked up on these females to go get the food, and I just saw just the level of fear that came up on them. People are feeling a lot of fear lately when I seem to walk up on them. And for whatever that reason that is, if I had to guess why that is, that's because I got angels behind me. That's why. It's not because of me. It's what's behind me. Because I'm just an adorable character. I'm always smiling. I'm always walking up to people. I have no ill intentions ever to anybody. Why people look so scared, especially these reprobate people. They scared to talk to me on the phone even. Some of them, most of them. They can't even stand to hear my voice. But yeah, I walked up on these two females in a car and it just seemed they had tattoos. And, if you're so hard, why you looking so scared when I walk up on you? You see, I see a lot of fear on people these days, but they pretending to be hard. That's usually a sign of a cowardly type of person. They got to put on this persona like they're hard and tough, tattoos, swearing. Them be the most cowardly people in the world, people who deal with this type of stuff. Because I guess if you got a tattoo, that means you tough. You're supposed to be tough or something. But that's actually the weak person. Matter of fact, if I was a boxer, if I got to beat up people and get paid for beating up people, I say give me all the people with the tattoos because that'd be an easy fight. Them the people pretending to be hard. I know I'm gonna kick their ass. Give me the people with the tattoos and put them in the ring with me and watch what I do to them. Because I know I'm gonna win those battles. People perpetrating a fraud of being tough, knowing that they're not. But y'all want to listen to these two links. One is about Bobby Hemmett telling y'all the real deal about it's only a remnant of black people left in America. The ones in America is only a remnant of them left. The majority of them are clones. Hard to believe, ain't it? But how else can you rationalize this behavior? These ain't real black people. They perpetrating a fraud of who black people really is. But guess what? But that's okay because they are just a decoy to hide the priests and the priestesses. That's all it is, y'all. That's all it is. That's all they're here for. Okay. I told y'all I don't even like that many people listening to me or watching my channel. That's why I don't have all these. I don't have this clickbait. I don't deal with that stuff. I don't deal with no clickbait. Jesus only had 12 disciples. He didn't have 30,000 subscribers. He didn't have 100, 200 comments. It's only going to be a small few people that get this, man. That actually get it. And even among that 12, there was someone who was a Judas. Even among the 12. So this is not a time to be, officer friendly or trying to have all these people check out my channel. But yeah, just getting back to this thing. I like the way this black woman covers her hair. I've been paying attention to Muslim women more lately, and I'm starting to adore them more and more because a woman's beauty really is a distraction to a man. You know, it really is a distraction. That hair, these days, women, they just walk around and dress however they want. Just like when I see a man in public, be walking with his wife, maybe have 2 or 3 children, but the wife is dressed up in all these tight booty shorts. Now, how another man ain't gonna look at that? Then you feel bad. Oh my God, I'm looking at another man's wife. Well, is it my fault? You look at what your girl is wearing, dude. I couldn't have that. If I'm with a woman, I couldn't have her dressing scantily like this. We going out in public. I could not have it. So yeah, I'm looking at Indian women lately. Yeah, I'm looking at Muslim women lately. I'm looking at what women could I actually have out in public with me without being embarrassed. You know, must have been a Nation of Islam convention at one of these hotels out here in the airport the other day because I seen a bunch of women kept pulling up in this Muslim garb. Some of them was gorgeous. Even their face was gorgeous, you know. But now I couldn't be walking around with no woman and she dressed all scantily in public. That'd be embarrassing. That's shameful. I saw another thing from this Crimson Tide lady. She had made another video earlier, I think today, yesterday. It was like she was explaining why black women don't have no shame. But you can explain this thing all you want. I believe Bobby Hemmitt's assessment. Most of these so-called black people are clones. There's no other way to describe it. Like he said, black people cannot be this stupid. Real black people, they cannot be this stupid. It's not possible. Being our true history, it's just not possible. You see, Bobby claims they started cloning black folks after Messenger died in 1975. But I want to see if there was anything else I wanted to say. But yeah, unfortunately, I can't deal with most of these clones, whether they black folks or whoever they is. I spotted out right away. They're just acting like they just, and that's why they have to have a television. That's why they have to have a TV programming. Who are they programming? They programming the robots. A real human being really can't be programmed. Yeah, they might get you in your younger years. You might act stupid, think you're supposed to be acting like what you see on TV. But after a while, when you become an adult, it just clicks that this is all BS, and that. So what is the TV really for? What is the programming really for? What do? You program a computer. You program a robot. A real human being cannot be programmed. So I think that's the silver lining to this. We say, well, television program, well, who are they? They're not programming a real. You cannot program a real soul. You just can't do it. You could program a robot. You see, that's what you can program is a robot. You cannot program somebody with a real soul. It's not possible. The real soul receives its programming from the universe, not television. That's something, ain't it? So I didn't think about it. I didn't say what I didn't say it, but that's the missing key. So you'll hear this lady Crimson Tide. She can talk all she want about black women and this and that. I know she's built her whole thing about her whole platform about what black women is or ain't doing. And of course, she got a lot of people to her channel because a lot of brothers are thinking she's a savior. But I think still the silver lining is that most of these black people are clones. That's the silver lining. We don't need to get into what they doing, why they doing it. They simply are robots. That's it. So I hope y'all enjoy these 2 links. Talk to y'all later. Peace.